indeed, and it is another abbreviated edition of Beyond the Barracks. Yeah, that noise you hear in the background is not Over the Horizon Brewing at all. That's McAllister Fieldhouse as we're here getting ready for the Dogs taking on Charleston Southern tonight. Maurice Drayton, the head football coach, seated to my immediate right. Beyond the Barracks, presented, of course, as always, by Cutwater Spirits. And a tip of the cap to our friends at Over the Horizon. We'll look forward to seeing them when we're back on track next week.
Yes.
Coach, obviously, a predictable result of sorts at Mississippi. I mean, that's kind of what these games are. What are your thoughts generally when you look back on it?
Yeah, well, you try to accentuate the positive. Defensively, we did play assignment sound football. We held their top rusher to 51 yards. The biggest explosive on the ground was 15 yards by that same guy. So there was solid execution against one of the nation's top offenses.
Right.
Special teams, that was a bright spot in our coverage units. Our coverage units did a good job. We had a tackle inside the 15-yard line, limiting only to a 5-yard kickoff return. And then our punt team, man, the return unit, they only had a negative. How about that? Negative yardage at 3.5. And then our net punt was 45.75 yards. And offensively, we did take care of the ball. We didn't have turnovers. We didn't have penalties.
Right.
We had smooth personnel changes. So now it's about finishing drives on offense and finishing drives with points. So that's where our focus is going forward.
Honestly, on the defensive side of the ball, the one thing they didn't do a lot of, they did have big plays, but they didn't have explosive down the field 60, 50, 50, 60, 70-yard plays. And this is an offense that routinely does that. So defensively, that's kind of a win for you guys, that you held them in check and made them earn what they went and got.
Exactly, and they proved that they could do it, that they would nickel and dime us all the way down the field. Most people don't have the patience to do
methodical.
that. I didn't think that Coach Kiffin would do that because he wants to chunk the ball up and score as many points as possible.
Well, obviously, we talked about this a little bit a couple of weeks ago. These games going forward, who knows, what the future holds. So it's kind of, as much as these are generally not necessarily going to be wins, although the Citadel has won their share of them over the years, these are more important for other reasons in this day and age where resources matter so much, and they're a great source of that.
Yeah, absolutely. But not only the resources, it is fun for our competitors. You always want to measure yourself against the best or who is said to be the best. So because of that alone, it's a great opportunity. And as we continue in this age of where we are in athletics, these games may become slimmer and slimmer to get.
Well, I mean, it's a great opportunity for these kids, too, to play on kind of a dream big stage, if you will, something they grew up watching, most of them, in this part of the country.
Yeah, definitely. I asked our guys before earlier in the week, how many of you dreamt of playing in an SEC stadium? Almost every hand went up. So, I'm glad we were able to have a good outing and come back healthy.
Right.
That's what's big because we got a big game this week. Why? Because it's the next one.
That's right. You've been around this game at various levels, including the highest ones, for a long time. So just an opinion as a football guy, what did you think of their game day atmosphere of it? It was unique. I thought it was pretty cool.
Yeah, they have a great game day atmosphere. I didn't get a chance to go through the groves. Did you?
No.
Oh, man, that would have been awesome.
No grove time.
No grove time for you either, huh?
Man, I was busy traveling all weekend.
Yeah.
But, no, their game day atmosphere was unique. And it was just a little bit different. I just wondered, as a football guy, what you thought of it.
Yeah, I've been there before. When I was coaching at the Citadel, I can't remember the year, but maybe 2005-ish. I'm not for sure. And when I coached in the state of Mississippi at Southern Miss, I had the opportunity to go up and be in the stadium. So, yeah, it is unique. It's fun. It's a good place to be. We wish them the best the rest of the way.
Right.
And hopefully, I hope they went out so we can say, hey, we played the number one team in all of FCS at the beginning of the year, played the Division II runner-up, and the national champion.
Right.
Talk about the strength of schedule.
I mean, you could very easily say you played both the eventual FCS and FBS champions in the same year.
Absolutely.
So there's something to that. Well, obviously, every game matters. You guys sit at 4-6, but now you get back to two really important ones, and none bigger than the next one, as you always say. As you take on Wofford, it's homecoming. You're at home. You got them last year. You'd like to do it again.
Yeah, so our messaging is we're blocking out the noise. Yes, it is homecoming, but I don't realize it's homecoming.
Right.
We're blocking out the noise, blocking out all the extra things that come with it, and we're just going to be where our feet are. And be in the moment. So we're excited about it. Wofford's 4-6, like you said, 3-3 in the conference, exact same record. One of us will spoil it for the next one, and we want to play the spoiler and have the opportunity to finish with an even record at home, and that will also give us a chance to finish with a winning record in conference.
Let's talk about Wofford a little bit more. When you turn on the tape, what are the things that stand out for you, really both sides of the ball?
Well, let me tell you something. Defensively, they are the real deal. Their defensive coordinators, Jonathan Saxon and Mitch Doolittle. Jonathan I had at South Carolina State many years ago when he was a player. Mitch, we've done a lot of battles over the years. He's the son of a coach, and well, both of them are son of coaches. But Mitch was at Gardner-Webb, at Mercer. Their defense is ferocious. They're fast. They get to the ball. They run. They're relentless. They've scored 5 touchdowns this year on defense. So they really get after it. Special teams, they're sound, very sound. They present some issues with some of their formations and messaging. With some of their formations. And then offensively, I tell you what, Sean does a great job. They're methodical. They know how to do it. They know how to run the ball. They try to be even keel with the pass. This quarterback can make the throws. So this is going to be a good Southern Conference football game. So come on out, come enjoy. Oh, man, it's going to be a barn burner.
You know, as it goes, I mean, you guys have different in-state and different rivals within the conference. Where do you put Wofford on that rivalry list? This is just your opinion.
It never stops. It never stops. At the beginning of each week, when it comes to VMI, you know, we don't like those Keydets, right? Purple makes me puke. And then I think about those rat terrier dogs. So it's just, at the beginning of the week, the level of disdain is the same for each one. So I can't put one above the other.
Right, I got you. Well, it makes sense. Well, the Dogs take on Wofford. It's homecoming. It's a 2 o'clock kickoff at Johnson-Haygood Stadium. And obviously, if for some reason you're not out there in homecoming, it should be a pretty big crowd.
Yeah.
It's supposed to be a really nice day,
yes,
too.
It is.
But if you're not out there, you can join us on radio. Pre-game coverage begins at 1. Kickoff of the annual SoCon Dogfight. Terriers at Bulldogs this year. Follows at 2 o'clock. You know, in a bigger sense, and this game is this game here, this basketball game we're getting ready for, is a great example. I talked to Coach Conroy about this too. The need and the importance of these local games.
Yes,
especially in this day and age where travel and all those things factor into budgets and all the things that matter so much.
Absolutely. We get Charleston Southern back on the schedule next year.
Right.
That's another one. So at the beginning of the week, there's a level of disdain for them. So every week for us, you know, you have to take your emotions and be able to control it. But Coach Conroy's right. This is supposed to happen in all sports, and have a great respect for those over at Charleston Southern as well.
You know, it's been a strange year in a lot of ways because you guys have had great moments, and then you've also had moments where maybe you've not done exactly what you were hoping to do. When you look back 10 games back, did you figure, or I guess you really never have a way of knowing where you're going to be because it's a different story, different journey every year?
Yeah, I was very, very, very hopeful. I thought we had the opportunity to be a really good football team, and we're turning into a good football team. The biggest thing with me is I want the rest of the world to see what I've been able to see in practice.
Right.
And we've shown glimpses of it. Now we need to be consistent with it.
And you were talking about Wofford defensively. You know, as it goes, I mean, I know you always take what the defense gives you and all that stuff, but as it goes, it seems like, this is Lee and I, just in our observation, it always seems like once you guys get that triple going, that thing is so much fun to watch.
Oh, yeah. We got to, teams have been taking the pitch away. Everybody say, hey, pitch the ball. Well, we can if the pitch key is, running to the pitch. And they're kind of dictating to us where they want us to go. And, if we can develop through formationing and blocking schemes a way where we can operate all the way out, I tell you what, it will be pretty.
Yeah. Give me a couple of keys for this game against Wofford, if you would.
Yeah, so it doesn't change. Things we got to do on offense, we have to secure the ball because this defense is so good. we also have to block out the noise and don't force plays. When they've been able to get turnovers, Wofford's defense, it's because teams have been forcing it. So a play doesn't care who make it. Just do your job, and the play will come to you. Defensively, we have to outplay their defense. We have to create turnovers. And then on special teams, I tell you what, that could be the deciding factor. If we get an opportunity to make three-pointers, we have to make our three-pointers because we haven't done that over the last few weeks. And then we have to force at least 2 big plays, whether it's due to a drive start, whether we first force a turnover, but we have to give our offense extra possessions.
Well, the competition in this conference obviously is very fierce, year in and year out, whatever the sport is for that matter.
Yeah.
Looking around it, of course, Chris Hatcher now has been let go at Samford. That's a sad development. I mean, he had been there for a long time. They had a pretty good run of success there. But the Southern Conference, I mean, there's pressure here just like there is everywhere.
It is, and, I sent Chris a text message, you hate to hear that. But I will say this. We don't worry too much about the head coaches. We bounce back. I don't worry about myself if something happened. I worry about my staff. I worry about his staff. I worry about the little kids and, who have to move now. And they, heard all the talk in the stands about their dads. And, I just, to the average fan, I would tell you, just think about that. Think about those little kids.
Yeah, root for your team, but remember these are people. That are trying to get all this done. These are people who work really, really hard.
That's right.
I mean, most of that not visible on radio or TV.
Exactly.
You can't hear it, you can't see it, but there's a whole lot of work going on. Before we leave the notes on the Southern Conference, what an amazing game between Western and Mercer. You talk about missed field goals.
Wow.
What a heartbreaker.
Oh my goodness, what a heartbreaker. I tell you what, we were on the bus going to the airport, and we were kind of following the game. And I tell you what, man, it was a good game. And both of our teams, top 2 teams in the Southern Conference, should get into the playoffs. We only had 1 team last year. I thought that was a travesty. So hopefully we'll get 2 teams in this year.
All right, well, we appreciate it as always. This is Beyond the Barracks. We are live at McAllister Fieldhouse. Beyond the Barracks, of course, is presented by Cutwater Spirits, and we normally are at Beyond Beyond the Barracks, but we're at Over the Horizon. I'm always getting mixed up between over and beyond here. But Beyond the Barracks is normally at Over the Horizon.
I love it.
Whew, man,
we got it.
Applause track, please. Yeah. But we'll look forward to getting back there next week.
Yes.
Appreciate it, and we're going to talk secondary.
Yeah, I got both the secondary coaches, Jason Simmons and Joe Jackson.
So we're gonna delve into that when we come back. This is a special edition of Beyond the Barracks. It's an abbreviated one. We'll go till the bottom of the hour, and then, of course, we'll have Citadel basketball pregame, and then the Dogs take on the Buccaneers of Charleston Southern. The opening tip for that comes at the top of the hour, 7 o'clock. So, yeah, you going to stick around for the basketball game? You're a busy guy, man.
I'm going back. I got to get on Wofford.
Right. Well, appreciate it as always. And, again, best of luck, best of health. We will look forward to seeing you this weekend.
Right,
let's get it
sounds
up.
Good. Let's do it.
All right. Maurice Drayton, the head coach of the Citadel, spending time with us here on Beyond the Barracks. And we will step aside and take a quick time out. Joe Mack is at the controls in our studios in West Ashley, and we'll send it to Joe for a break. Back with more of Beyond the Barracks after this on the Citadel Bulldogs Radio Network. And we're back on Beyond the Barracks. We're live at McAllister Fieldhouse tonight, where the Citadel Bulldogs take on the Charleston Southern Buccaneers. But right now, it is Beyond the Barracks, and it is presented, of course, by Cutwater Spirits. Our guest now is Joe Jackson, the secondary coach at the Citadel. And, hey, you're upright. You're sitting here with a smile on your face, and you come off a week of facing a Lane Kiffin offense. Not bad for a secondary coach.
Yeah, like we were saying, like if you could find a wind in it.
Right.
We found one, kind of kept the ball in front of us for the most part. They didn't really air us out a little bit. Like they didn't throw over the top and stuff like that. They made us tackle on the perimeter. It's a fast offense. They get a line fast. Their tempo's fast. Good outfit. I mean, number 6 in the nation in the SEC, where FCS Bulldogs came down into town, and we showed up and we competed.
Yeah, and I mean, Coach said it. I mean, he wasn't sure that he thought Lane Kiffin would be patient enough to have to kind of grind it out, but sure enough they did, and they just were they had to be methodical, and they were.
Yeah. We game plan was to kind of eliminate the big play, right? They had a couple of explosives, but that big play, we wanted to do our best and really take away that big play and make them drive the field. And then we got off the field. It was 9-play drive, 10-play drive. So it was like, hey, well, we made them earn it.
How was the mindset of the guys going out there? I mean, it seemed to me like they were just ready to go out there and fly around and have fun.
Yeah, we preached keep football, accept the challenge. The atmosphere was going to be the atmosphere.
Right.
So, but between the lines and play through the whistle, all the fireworks and stuff, I mean, those don't score touchdowns. So we kind of just tried to make it be a football game.
Right. You know, that atmosphere is unique, like a lot of these SEC, well, really every college setup. Every atmosphere is a little bit different. What do you think of that one as a guy who's been around the game a lot?
It's always nice. The crowd is loud. You can't hear anything. You can't hear the guy next to you. But you enjoy it. You kind of take it all in. Like, you get your all moment out right at that opening kickoff, kind of when they do the fireworks, and they're bringing everybody out on the field.
Right.
It's nice. It's beautiful. It's a wonderful experience. But when you've kind of been there, you've been there.
Yeah, that's right. The Bulldogs take on Wofford this week. It's homecoming, and now, as I was talking to Coach Drayton about, you sort of get back to business. This is two really important games. You really want to finish strong, and you really like to make a dent in both of these, starting with Wofford.
Yeah, we're in a position here kind of similar to what they were in last season. So we're kind of just keeping our eye on the prize, and that's this week, one day at a time. They jumped out on us early last year. Don't want to do that again.
Right.
So we're kind of trying to tighten down every screw and kind of make sure no stone is unturned.
What kind of a challenge do they present for your unit, your secondary, Wofford? That is, they got a big quarterback, I know, that's kind of one of those prototypical big guys that can throw it around a little bit.
They have a good offense. They have two good backs. Their wideouts are skilled, fast, quick. They're good in space. So, I mean, they're a good offense that knows what they're doing. Like, they pitch it around evenly. So you kind of got to be able to have your eyes in the right spot with this offense.
Yeah, the Wofford Terriers will be at Johnson Haygood. That's a 2 o'clock game. It's homecoming on Saturday. The game is probably going to be close to, if it's not sold out already, it's going to be close. It's going to be a big crowd, as homecoming always is. And if for some reason you can't make it out there, you can join us on radio with pregame coverage coming up at 1 o'clock on Saturday. Hall of Famer Lee Glaze and myself. We're with Joe Jackson, who is the secondary coach at the Citadel. Here in a couple moments, we're going to switch it up, and we're going to talk safeties with Jason Simmons, who's right here behind you. But as we sit here 10 games in, what are your thoughts on the season, the journey to this point anyway, and are you know, the peaks, valleys, it's all part of it?
The season, there's a lot of meat left on that bone. I think there's some missed opportunities out there that we kind of left on the field. But we still have 2 games left. We got 2 games left to kind of go and skin that cat every kind of way and kind of get everything off of it, get everything we've worked for throughout the week.
Right.
We haven't really put on a full performance on Saturday yet, and I believe our best is still yet to come, and don't blink because it's on its way.
Right. You've got some guys back there in that secondary, too, that you've had for, a handful of years now. It has to have been fun to watch these guys develop, get better as football players, and obviously, turn into what they are today.
Yeah, it's great. You got our seasoned vet, Cale Williams, back there at safety, and he knows the game inside and out. He's everywhere on the field. And then you have on the outside, you got Bradley Jones, that is a 3-year starter that went from kind of just teaching the basics of the game to now he's asking questions that I ask myself while I'm sitting there watching film. And then on the other side, you got Melvin Ravenel that's been around. He's a 5th year that's been here for a while as well. Big, long corner that understands what's going on, can control the tempo of the game, doesn't get rattled. So we've got some guys.
It's part of the nature of this game, that you only have these guys for so long, but you develop relationships with them and a fondness for these guys where you follow them after they leave with what they're doing in life and all that stuff. That's part of what all this is great. What part of what's great about all of this is that, I think.
It's the relationships. You get called on the weekend, and it has nothing to do with football.
Right.
It's really just advice. Hey, Coach, what should I do in this situation? Or, hey, Coach, guess what just happened? Just excitement that you hear in their voice. You get calls about the new car they just bought or the trips that they're going on. It's all about relationships. It's part of the reason why we do what we do. Yeah. Football it's only half of it, if that. It's the relationships that you build within your room.
Joe, appreciate the time, man. Let's beat Wofford.
Yes, sir. Go Dogs, ain't it? The big dogs.
That's right. That's right. Be the better
be
dog
the big
today.
dog this weekend. That's right. Thank you, Brian.
Here in just a moment, we will bring Jason Simmons, the safeties coach, over, and we'll talk a little bit more about Cale Williams, among other things, as we thank Joe Jackson, and he will hand it off to Jason Simmons. He'll be over here in just a moment. The basketball Bulldogs and the Charleston Southern Buccaneers have gone back into their respective locker rooms, but both were out here loosening up quite a bit. And we're not too far from our pregame coverage. In fact, that will start immediately following this program in just a little bit. We'll get Jason Simmons over and get his thoughts on this game. We'll take a quick look back at the Ole Miss game with Jason also as, kind of an unconventional version of Beyond the Barracks tonight as we come your way from McAllister Fieldhouse. Our guest now is Jason Simmons, who is the safeties coach at the Citadel. I was talking to Joe about this a moment ago. You know, you're upright and you're smiling a week after facing a Lane Kiffin offense as a safeties coach. That's noteworthy.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. It was a blessing to be down there and play in that environment for our kids. That's something they'll remember for the rest of their lives. So it's fun to be a part of that.
You know, when you and I spoke earlier in the season, you're not that far removed from playing this game yourself. And you probably, as a result of that, can relate to so many of these guys on this level so much more like where they are. I'd love to get your thoughts on Cale Williams, for one, who's really had a great career at the Citadel. He's just a hard-nosed guy that makes plays all over the field. What are your thoughts on him?
Yes, sir. He is an amazing kid off the field, first of all, before we can get into the football stuff. He's always where he needs to be. He does the right things on and off the field. But on the field, man, he's as tough as nails, man. He great tackler, has developed in coverage. I'm blessed to be able to call him my player.
Yeah. You know, I could sit here and talk with you guys about this stuff all day. I'm running low on time here, but I'd like to get your thoughts as we sit here 10 games in on how the season has gone to this point. Obviously, you got two important ball games left, none bigger than this one that's the next one, as Coach always says. But what are your thoughts 10 games in on this year and how it's gone? Your schedule was tough enough, Jason, that, you know, you're probably a better football team, and who knows at this point? You hope you finish with a better record, but who knows at this point because the schedule was tougher.
Yes, sir. The schedule is definitely not easy, but I feel like there's been a lot of ups and downs. I just feel like we need to finish this off strong and, you know, just take advantage of these last two opportunities.
Let's talk quickly about Wofford now. They provide the opposition on Saturday, and they're a team that started the season a little bit slowly, but they've really been playing well of late. They come off of a win against VMI where they kind of scored some points and rolled it up a little bit. What are your thoughts on the Terriers?
I think they're a really good team. I think that a little like us, their record can be deceiving, but we have the same record, and their defense is probably one of the best in the conference. Their offense has started to click. They put up 50, 60 on VMI. So, you know, we got to come ready to play.
Jason, appreciate the time, man. We run a little bit low on it because this is an abbreviated version of Beyond the Barracks as we have a basketball pregame that'll start in a couple minutes, man. Best of luck, best of health. Let's go get a dub Saturday.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
All right, that is Jason Simmons, the safeties coach at the Citadel. A real defensive theme tonight on Beyond the Barracks after we finish with Coach Drayton. And that will about finish this episode. I want to say thanks to Joe Mack, and Joe and I will be together the next several hours as the Dogs and Buccaneers will go head-to-head. But that'll do it for Beyond the Barracks. We will talk to you in a few minutes on the Citadel Bulldogs Radio Network.